3 decades. And it would be a disservice if I didn't mention the backbone of this association. It can't be me for 3 decades, God. I was sold in diapers, I think, back then. But the credit does go to one of my personal great friends, a mentor himself, Mr. Talat Rashid, who is the founder of the APA, like I said, has been serving our communities for 30 years. People just think that, hey, you know, this organization just has the Taste of Pakistan. It's a great event, the largest one of its kind in this country. But just to enlighten you in a little bit more detail, that's not all we do. The Taste of Pakistan is a community event. It's meant to improve the image of Pakistan and Pakistanis. And we are extremely proud of ourselves on the way we execute that mission. People gravitate to this event from all parts of the United States. It's just not BolingBrook. It's the state of Illinois. We've had people coming from Canada, throughout the Midwest, New York. They really do come and enjoy this event because it's done efficiently in an organized fashion. And we're very proud of that. This is what Pakistan is. And this is the image mainstream Americans need to see of Pakistan as a positive contributor to our community. And I really hope and wish that we continue to do that. But we could never ever do this or get to this level without you guys' support. Some of our sponsors could not make it, some of them are still on their way. As you know, it's a Desi time, so we'll allow that. But I truly, really want to thank all of you that are here. Starting with, I want to thank Advanced Pediatric Care, Dr. Mazin Saeed and Nadeem Longi. These guys have been the backbone to the success of our organization. You guys are so modest, you doctors. You gotta go give a shot to somebody right now. Truly, when we launched the idea, and Mayor Meredith can probably witness this, that for many years we just had a little flag hoisting in the village hall, you know, for about 10, 15 years. There were more Americans, Caucasians, than Pakistanis there. We'd have some samosas, raise the flag, and everybody would go home. After a while, you know, I mentioned to Talat Bhai, like, you know what, we've got this performing arts center right behind Village Hall. Why don't we utilize that? So Talat Bhai's like, no, seriously? And we went to Roger, and Roger goes, yeah, give it a shot, why not? So our very first year, we had maybe 1,000 attendees, if that. And we were very proud of it. We've never seen, you know, 1,000 Pakistanis gathering together at one venue. But this was, what, 12 years ago? Since then, I mean, you guys have seen it. That's thousands and thousands and thousands of people. At one point, Mayor Meredith told us a few years back that you guys might need to change the venue, because I think that venue is quite small for the crowds you guys are bringing in. But I truly thank our leadership. I thank our police, fire, public works, all these guys. We really, truly work as a team and try to do the right thing for our community. So thank you, Advanced Pediatric Care. For those of you that are here, I truly want to thank a dear friend of mine who's been a great contributor this year, especially in the days of COVID. And he complained that I didn't mention his name on Pakistan Day, but he chose to go home early because he was working all day. Zishan Alvi from Lab Elite, the CEO, please stand up. Please give him a big round of applause. A great friend, a great supporter. Zishan owns all the Lab Elites throughout Chicagoland. They do all the lab testing, COVID, and they really helped us this year, because the last thing we need on our plate these days is to blame the Pakistanis for an outbreak of COVID. So we were proactive. We did not want to be the super spreader, so I reached out to Zishan. I'm like, can you help us? So we did mandatory COVID testing. So I thank you, Zishan, for that, for your contribution towards the success of this event. We have some media partners here today. Everybody's smiling at me. This guy's been with us since day one for many, many years, even before I came into the picture. So from Pakistan Times, Pakistan News, not Pakistan Times, they're non-existent now. Pakistan News, Rana Javed Saab, thank you very much. Rumi Saab is here, Javed Bhai is here, And the man behind the camera, I'm a big fan of him because when we first started the Pakistan Day, you know, I'm backstage. I never really get to see what it looks like from the hill, people sitting out there. And, you know, BCT, our television guys are like, oh, it's going to take a week or so for you to get the DVD to see it. But I'd go on YouTube and Khalil Bhai's videos would be on there the next morning, like 5 or 6. And I really, you know, got a good laugh out of it and really enjoyed it. So Khalil Bhai, thank you very, very much for your contribution. Gur Singh Saab from our Sikh community, thank you very much for your support. It's great to see support from the other side of the border. Always nice to see. I do believe we have somebody from our Al Khani community here today.
Yes, Imran Bhai.
Imran Bhai, thank you very much for being here. I've got a lot of smiley friends in Karachi, so thank you. We appreciate the support. Other than that, I'd like to thank our families. Obviously, I want to thank our Consul General and the First Lady. Thank you for your support. You have been extremely visible. I've been monitoring what you guys have been doing, and thank you for that. And you know, grabbed the bull by the horns, and you're leading from the front, and BolingBrook should be your second home. You can't stop that from happening because it's been every Consul General's second home. So thank you for being here. Appreciate your support. And I believe we have a Vice Consul here. And I believe we both have something in common. I'm from Kandujan.
Oh,
Yeah, so Umrani Javed Bhai left and they brought you in. So great to see a fellow Cindy here. So welcome to BolingBrook. So without further ado, I would like to have Talal Bhai.
You said it.
I said everything?
Yeah.
I was hungry.
Oh, Talal Bhai always has a few words to say, so.
Okay, well, first of all, same thing that we said, I'm gonna piggyback on that. Thank you very much for your support, as always, because I have seen some faces here for 30 years. They were helping us out. Roger Clear is one of them, and you know, I always repeat and I say, we always have some new people in here, and that we started with 10, 11 people, and now we are all the way to too many people. Let me put it this way. One time Roger said we should put a ticket so that people, you could reduce the crowd, because sometimes it's hard to control. But thank God, you know, we're doing a great job, and we're very successful. We have a sister city relationship with Shalkot, and I think we were the first one to did that. And Roger went there, and Roger was the first mayor in Pakistan who went to Pakistan. Roger was the first mayor. I was told by the media, he's the first mayor that came in, and Roger said that is the safest country in the world. Whatever the media says, we don't believe in the media. Even though he said, I don't need security. We had 6 people in front, 6 in the back with the guns and 2 motorcycles, and that was too much. I mean, that was actually bringing attention to the people as somebody's going. So we had luckily 0 traffic there, and the mayor of Lahore was very, very cordial to us, and he did really whatever he could, and we loved the trip. And again, we're thankful to the counseling that they helped us out. We got a free visa, you know, even though I had the visa, but I wanted to get a free visa on my passport to say, you know, it's a gratis or whatever they call it. So, but anyway, media wasn't our backbone for 30 years. I have my good friend, my brother, News Pakistan, Mr. Rumi Saab, Javed Riaz, Naeem Saab came here first time, thank you very much. Nawaz Saab being here, Imran Saab I called a couple times ago, and I think Dr. Wasem, and all shapes, Gur Saab. So we had, I mean, good backbone, you know, the people that we had. Nishan was the first time we came in, and we have Ashar Lakhani that came in. Thank you very much for waiting for you. But anyway, I don't want to say anything else. I think you know what we do, and I know you appreciate what we do, and we will continue. If we knock on your door, please help us out. We hardly go, but you know, you see where your dollars go. We promote the culture, we promote the image of Pakistan. And again, thank you very much. And I'm also thankful to our family that came in and filled in the gaps. But thanks again.
And who's that fellow who doesn't like to speak? But he pays attention. Anything I miss, we're a great team, and he follows up on that. I do want to thank Iqbal Bhai. Thank you, prominent businessman from Devon. Thank you for attending our event. Thank you for your support. And the gentleman that just kind of crept in after his tennis session, the one and only Mr. Lakhani.
Thank you.
Ashok Bhai played a huge role this Pakistan Day, as every year the APA, we commit to helping an organization or an effort in Pakistan. We've done it for decades, from educating a child from when the Basha Dam project, but I think it's in our skin that when some persons, they try to climb that ladder, the other one tries to take them down real quick. And I think that attitude and that behavior really needs to go away. We're living in the 21st century. We're all American Pakistanis, and we really need to learn from the Western culture. The good things, leave the bad behind, but you always improve and improvise. As far as the APA goes, we've partnered with many organizations, including Islamic Relief. When the floods happened, we were the first ones to partner with a nonprofit. We saw it's at 5,000 something blankets, in Pakistan, including 5,000 tents, educating children in Pakistan, the Pani Project. What else have we done?
Help Balochistan.
Help Balochistan. That was our project this year. The governor of Balochistan, I think the CM of the governor, that's one of his projects. And there's really lack, when you live in Karachi or Lahore or Sialkot, these cities, you really don't see or gravitate towards the little villages and the struggles that these people are facing, including schools and education. I personally think we should forever partner with somebody to educate the kids in Pakistan. Education is the key to our success. And I think we are committed as an organization to further explore this effort and to fund legitimate, and I stress on the word legitimate, organizations to school children, to school girls. There's plenty of madrasas which we take a hit on in the Western media all day long. What does Pakistan have? Oh, they have madrasas, they have madrasas, they have madrasas. Nobody's talking about the St. Pat's and the grammar schools of Karachi, or Karachi University or NED College, where you have, one of the best talents and scientists and mathematicians coming out, but everybody talks about the madrasas. So I think we really need to join hands, and if you can help us, we are willing to lead the way, but your support is definitely needed. Our country in this time really needs us, and being in the cricket fraternity in the United States, you just saw what happened. New Zealand canceling a tour to Pakistan, England canceling a tour to Pakistan, and I think Australia is going to follow and cancel a tour to Pakistan. The PCB is part of our GDP. They create a lot of revenue. We're a proud country. We won the last Champions Trophy against all odds. One of the moments I'll forever live and cherish. I tell a lot of my Indian friends, and Gursat, no offense to you, but he's more Pakistani than anything. But I lived half my life on the Sharjah Cup when Javed Miandad hit that six, of Chetan Sharma. So I tell my Indian friends who keep on poking me every now and then, and good taste, I tell them, yaar, aadhi zindagi mein Sharjah Cup pe guzar li, aadhi zindagi mein Champions Trophy pe guzar lunga, le lo jo lena tumhe. So that's the extent of it. Without further ado, I do want to call up Dr. Mazam and Dr. Longi, since you've been, come on, say a few words about our organization, since you've been our longtime supporter since day one. They've been our grand sponsor for the past 12 years. And that takes a lot of heart and a lot of giving.
And money.
And well, I was being nice. And one thing I love about these two gentlemen And I would hope it's a feeling that's reciprocated, that I only knock on their door when I'm in need, when we are in need. Sometimes the number is up here, hey, I need this much, but sometimes the number is down here, I need this much. And I think they appreciate that, because I have never, ever abused that privilege. And it's an honor, you know, to have friends like you who never, ever say no. So please give a big round of applause to Dr. Mosley and Dr. Jim. But I'm going to say a few words, right? मौसम भाई ज़्यादा बोलते नहीं है, तो हिंदी में ज़्यादा बोलते हैं, लेकिन
You can make a dance move.
yeah, I have the video. I was going to play it.
Good evening, everybody. It's very nice, and I don't think we do that much of the stuff. I think
Yeah, you
these
do.
guys, all they do, it's very difficult to do the whole event. It's easier to just write a check, right, or give us some money or some, but just to arrange everything and work hard so many weeks and months. I think he finishes one event and then he's probably making ready for the next year or something. And Talbai is there too, and everybody, and Mayor has been so kind and, you know, gracious, and Mayor Basa this year, we've been so thankful to you guys, like, you know, you guys given us so opportunity, and, you know, we're all there. I think these guys work more harder than anybody else in the
All right.
I think they need a big round.
Good evening, Saul and Com. Just for your information, the number has never been this low.
And that's my version.
Yeah, they've never been this low, and the feeling is mutual. I really don't know how these guys do it. Giving your time and effort is much more valuable than writing a check. I totally agree with Martha. But it's a phenomenal job what they're doing, furthering the cause of Pakistan, improving our image, and we are very blessed and happy to be a part of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, the only thing standing between dinner and us is maybe a couple more words from a few more individuals. Now, because BolingBrook.
Come on, you know us from, just say a few words. Thank you.
His smile says it all.
That's what I do.
Yeah. This year we were very fortunate to have a sponsor step up. And for those of you that MC and do public speaking and so forth, to control a crowd of thousands of people with a mic, it may seem very easy, but my heart knows what I'm going through. This year we made a huge commitment to the Help Balochistan project. You know, we had cars, we had this, we made a commitment, and the one thing I dislike is a strong word, but Talabhai goes and makes these commitments, right? Yes, we're gonna do this. So he comes to me a month before the event, he's like, we made a commitment to the Help Balochistan project of X amount of, you know, $8,000 or $9,000 something dollars. I'm like, okay, well, thank you for the heads up. We are gonna advertise it, but we had to, you know, work together as a team and do it. And we were really struggling on stage. Only I know that what I need to do to make this happen. We were still short about $4,000 after the car and everything was going on. And we had a package of it they had in air sale tickets. And normally you could probably buy it for $4,000, $5,000. I'm like, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? So started, you know, the auction, whatnot, but I knew the players in the front rows. And one of them was Mr. Lakhani himself. He dances pretty good, by the way. You have to witness it, you have to come to the next show.
For the right price.
For the right price. So we started bidding, we were getting $1,000, $1,500, but I knew I had to reach my goal. And I wasn't gonna go to Mazen Bhai and Nadeem Bhai because they've already, you know, wrote us a check. So Lakhani Bhai just kind of sparkled. And he was the first one to raise his hand for $1,000. I'm like, good, I got him, he took the bait. He took the bait for the $1,000. Now I'm not gonna let him go. So at $3,500, I'm struggling, not getting any hands, and he's like this too, just staring. I'm like, not that easy. My son rose his hand at $3,500, if you guys remember. My very own son, he rose his hand. I'm like, Beta, mashallah, you know, what a great job. I mean, my son is doing this, just kind of embarrass everybody else. I'm like, but I know I can get 4,000. And I came back right to Mr. Lakhani, and he was kind enough to take the 4,000. Not that he needs the tickets or whatnot, but Ashraf bhai, you really won my heart. You saved our image that day, and you helped us donate money to a very, very good cause in Pakistan. I'd like you to come up and to say a few words, if you will.
All right. Oh my God, already under pressure. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. I think I echo the same feeling with the two twin pediatricians there. And I think you guys have done a wonderful job. It's not easy to get 4,000 out of Maimon, you know what I mean? I'm a Maimon Jew. So I think hats off to you guys. But you've done a good job, and the respected mayors. I think BolingBrook, in my opinion, has been a wonderful city to work with. I mean, I'm a lower neighborhood, they gave me $7.5 million incentive to put a huge complex there. So I hope I'm looking for some kind of incentives for you guys, because I'm a developer and entrepreneur, so I always look at the opportunity, create jobs, create taxes, and make sure the economy is vibrant. Talking about your event, I think you've done a great job, mashallah. Round of applause to you and the team. And hope you carry on this torch. And like I said, my vision is to see everything together under one roof at the Millennium Park. That's my dream and vision. Hopefully you get there soon. All right, I don't know if you want to touch base on that, or it's not the right time, but.
Ashraf, I had a friendship appreciation dinner a week or so ago, which he called me one day. He's like, hey, I need you to come and kind of guide that event through emceeing. So I went in. He's like, well, it's a friendship appreciation dinner. Can you, are you a poet? Can you say some poetry? Can you say some jokes? I'm like, no, not my niche. But it was a very successful event, and thank you for having me that day. But we were having dinner together, and he brought up a point which he had mentioned to me on the phone once before, that how great would it be to have one Pakistan Day? And I've been a huge fan of that idea since Zahir Khan, many years ago, 10 years ago. And I went to every consul general. I'm like, you know what? The Indian community, every other community has one big event where hundreds and thousands of people gravitate, and yes, they're bringing the Shah Rukh Khans, they're bringing, these big names. Why can't we do that? And I would be the first one to advocate for it, but everybody is aware of the hurdles. Until we come together as a community, throw away our personal egos, and work towards one goal, it can be done. We proved it by doing it in BolingBrook. And this is just one community who has the largest event of its kind in the United States. A community of 76,000 people hosting the largest Pakistan Day event in this country. There's tons of them. When Bushra Ansari came, she told me the same thing. Bushra Wali goes, Meera, I don't know how you guys did it. I did New York, and I thought that was the best thing. And they had me change my clothes in a porta potty. Seriously, those were, Asim Azhar, we've had every big artist come here. Why can't we bring the Atif Aswams? Why can't we bring the Rahat Fateh Ali Khan? We can do it. But the egos have to go away. And people have to give up that seat, which in our country, nobody leaves the seat, the kursi. That mentality absolutely has to go away. We have to, when Jahangir was here, our ambassador for a short time, he's a very good friend of mine, he's a graduate, Cornell, and him and I really thought eye to eye. He's like, Mir, young guys like us should be representing this country. What's an uncle doing, that can't spell elephant? And no offense to anybody here, but we've got third generation Pakistani kids living here who are smarter than any American kid in general. We've got smart kids. Let's not have them lose their culture, because that's what's happening. We don't give them the time or the place to exert their passion for this country and to exert their culture to the American mainstream media, and we're so tangled up. So I'm all for it, Ashraf Bhai. The moment the Consul General and the leaders of the community decide to bring everybody together, I will give my time all day long to make sure that it's a success, and that's a promise to this community.
All right.
All right, dinner will be served, but before that happens, I do have to give the mic to our Honorable Consul General. Please welcome our Consul General, the Honorable Tariq Karim.
Mayor Mary Vesta, Farmer Mayor Mr. Kilar, Talat Bhai, Mayor Ali, some other members of APA, your whole team, members of Pakistani community, Pakistani American community, Sardar Bhai and others who are here. First of all, I'm really thankful for your invitation. It's always a pleasure, honor for me to come to BolingBrook. Very lively, small size city, village, but really giving so much. First of all, I think I would really appreciate what he talked about, the different things. Really, I really impressed by what he said and would really endorse all things what he said for the community, for Pakistan. I think these are precisely our goals as well. BolingBrook especially is unique. We had a lot of Independence Day programs this year, and I think I myself attended more than half a dozen programs. They were all successful. They attracted huge gatherings. And there were thrill, there was enthusiasm, patriotism, chanting Pakistani slogans, raising Pakistani flags everywhere. This was really enjoyable. But I see the crowds, the entertainment, the gathering that was here in this city, the BolingBrook, was really impressive. It was very successful. And more than that, I think the fact that it was 30th episode was greater than anything else. This is not a small job. I don't think that you can continue with such endeavors as a matter of routine. A lot of effort must have been gone through all these endeavors. And I think Talat Saab, Mayor Saab, and other members of APA deserve admirations, appreciations. And I admire. And would not have been possible without the strong support from the city, from the village. And I must say that whenever I hear about the BolingBrook, Mayor Clark name always come, and so is his successor, I think, delivering on all issues pertaining to the community. I always hear the good things, and I witness a sort of collaboration and the cooperation that exists between the community and the city officials. And I see this is a very important template for our community concentrations in other cities. Other initiatives like the sister city projects, I think, and we are lucky that both of you were in Sialkot, Lahore, and witnessed what Pakistan actually is, rather than believing in media. This is really a challenging thing when you are witnessing things with your own eyes. And first-hand impression is different, and you saw how the things are there, and really everything that the media is trying to spread is not true. And I see, as he mentioned about there should be some collective one single programs, I really endorse, it's a brilliant idea. We should have some programs as a community as a own program. But we can work on this idea, of course. We have strength, we have problems, but I believe in the strength of the community. A few days back, I was in Michigan, and like your community in Chicagoland, they are also a fantastic community. And they also, I attended one seminar gathering that was around 1,000 people. So I saw there were strengths, but it was sort of a unique platform as you were talking. So I think what we can do is that we can continue such efforts. And BolingBrook, of course, is really a, you can say, presents an alive example that the other cities can emulate And I think you should continue not only what you made the efforts now, but also build on these. And one of the aspect can be the economic diplomacy. And I would very much like to work with you besides the community and the things that you're doing to work on, but the community can really deliver on the economic diplomacy and to advance the economic collaboration between this city and Chicagoland in Pakistan. And I think especially our professionals, doctors, engineers. I was in Michigan and they told that 90% of the community is doctor or engineers. And the rest of the community, 10% is their either father or mother or children. So I think this is a huge strength. So that is the situation, and this is really a satisfying fact that the image of the community here in the United States and in the Midwest in particular is that the overwhelmingly professional people, stable, prosperous, contributing to the socioeconomic development of the United States and have a strong linkage with Pakistan, and they also contributor, and they are everywhere considered as a positive contributor. So I think that should continue. And as far as the things you mentioned about Pakistan, visits of the cricket teams and others, I would say that this is again sometimes of the media hypes and others. But eventually Pakistan and the United States and others have a common objective to pursue the regional peace. So whether it is Afghanistan or otherwise, the common objective is to pursue peace. Pakistani government has shifted its focus from geopolitics to geoeconomics and want to focus on the things that really matter for the people. And I can assure you that despite all media things that sometimes portray a different picture, the government really wants to have a developed Pakistan, want to really move on the developmental and economic issues, and for it, the regional peace and stability is must. So the situation in Afghanistan, Pakistan, no other country have more states than Pakistan who was impacted by 80,000 people, loss of 80,000 people, and economic loss of 150 billion US dollars. The terrorism that came from Afghanistan to Pakistan. So what we are monitoring the situation, but of course we would like the international community to engage with the people of Afghanistan in a way that promotes stability and peace in the region. Because we see the peace and stability in Afghanistan, in the whole region, is the prime objective of Pakistan, United States, in all regions. Thank you again, and I would say that the whole spirit of the BolingBrook team should continue. This is a great spirit. The other people, I think, all across Chicagoland and Midwest and the United States should emulate, should really learn from the positive experience that they have. And as far as the Consulate General is considered, we always would continue to your support. And thank you very much again for your invitation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind words and for your insights, Consul General, as always. It means a lot coming from a dignitary such as yourself. So let's serve dinner, but before we serve dinner, we have a little token of our appreciation for our Mayor Emeritus, Roger Clare.
All right.
Just because we wanted to. It's our show, and we get to do what we want today. So if I can get the other Piper, please come up here. Yeah, Consul General, if you would join us. Lakhani Musab, if you would join us too. Muslim Bhai and Nadim, please come on up. You guys have been longtime supporters. Not that Roger is in need of any gifts, per se, but for a mayor to support his Pakistani community over 3 decades, it takes a lot of courage. It does. And Roger has said this over and over again. You know, after 9/11, when we had an Islamic school come to town, or a new mosque being built, you know, he got a lot of eyes. People roll their eyes and they're like, seriously? You really want to put in a mosque after 9/11? You really want to put in an Islamic school? But this man never budged. And he has my respect till I go to the grave. I truly am sincere when I say that, because there's no American mayor or a diplomat in this country that has given to our country and the fellow Pakistanis here what Roger has. So that being said, I know this isn't much, but I know this is near and dear to your heart. We are presenting Mayor Emeritus Roger C. Clare for his support of the Pakistani community for 3 decades with 2 round-trip tickets on Southwest to go see his lovely granddaughter, Samantha Joy.
Yay!
The tickets will be in your email in about 3 hours.
I got it about 3 hours ago.
Here we go.
I already got it.
All right. They say something right.
Of course he will.
I got something else.
Oh yeah,
Something else?
Yes.
these are the original golf club tees
Oh, wow.
that are no longer in existence that Todd was able to gather.
A little bit, executive, please.
From the golf course.
Thank you.
Not that Roger needs any more golf club memorabilia, but I will turn it over to Mayor Emeritus Roger Clare for a few words, and then we shall have dinner. Thank you.
Well, first of all, the great thoughtful gift. I mean, the 2 round-trip tickets to see my granddaughter, and that's why I retired. I had a daughter that grew up with me as mayor, and a mayor for close to 34 years. And I was home every night, but there was a lot of functions that I was not in attendance at, or for a brief period of time, or I just missed. But she understood that, and she's never told me that I was a bad father. In fact, she says I was a good father. But my point is, my granddaughter's in California. She's going to be 6 years old next month, and if I had to run another term, she would have been 10 or 11 years old when I retired. And 10 or 11-year-old kids, as you all probably know, don't spend a lot of time with Papa, as she calls me. She'd be involved in numerous other activities, and I wanted to get out there and spend time with her so she gets to know me. So that was the main reason I retired. Being supportive of what we've done here for years, frankly, I found it very easy, and I find it somewhat, I don't understand why other communities don't do it. We have an extremely diverse community here, and we've always prided ourselves in doing things to not advertise it, but let people know about diversity and how we appreciate what people have done here by moving here. There's a day we will celebrate the Filipino friendships. We have El Grito, the Hispanic friendships. We have, help me, Mayor. Filipino Day. And those are all well attended too. The biggest by anyway is the Pakistani Day. And by the way, whoever said that was right, Mir never asked this amount. It's always here, then here, and then.
That's your version.
But he's persistent. But the point is, it was easy to do, and I've had a lot of great experiences, and the trip to Pakistan was one I will never, ever, ever forget. We were very well treated, never felt the least bit unsafe, and as I told people over there, you know, people talk about this country maybe not being safe, but I said you could be at a concert in Las Vegas and have a sniper start shooting people from a window in a hotel. Or you could be playing golf at Sherwood Country Club in California and stop at a sports bar around the corner and somebody unloads a pistol and 6 or 7 people. So we have our violence here too. So violence unfortunately happens everywhere. But when I was in Pakistan, and I had lunch today with county board member from Page County, who's a Pakistani. Very interesting woman to talk to, and I enjoyed the lunch a lot with the mayor of Naperville. So I had mutton for lunch too. So it's been a great day. But when I was in Pakistan having breakfast, and our entourage, the group we were with, we're having breakfast. It's to show you what a small world we have. I'm sitting here having breakfast, and this gentleman comes up and taps me on the shoulder, and I said, excuse me, he said, yes, Mayor, I live in BolingBrook, here. And what are the odds? I looked up after that on how many hotels there were in Lahore, Pakistan. There's, I think it was 316 at the time. Of 316 hotels, for me to be in one of them, at breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning, to have a resident of BolingBrook in that same hotel, to be in that same room at that time, you know, what are the odds of that? So it's just such a small world. Anyway, I've enjoyed doing this. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay here in BolingBrook for a number of years. I'll be traveling more to California, but Mir knows how to find me. Oh, I may change cell numbers. Talent certainly knows mine, but these two guys are remarkable, particularly this man here. When we traveled, Tyler Rashid is like you're traveling with the ambassador. That's how well he's known and respected throughout, certainly Pakistan, throughout Chicagoland. And I've told many people, including congressional candidates and others, you need to know Tyler Rashid. I don't think I've ever heard you talk as long as you did earlier. I know you've heard me talk a lot longer, but I was really doing a very nice job, and he's a remarkable individual, and I'm glad he's a resident of BolingBrook. Mir does a great job with lots of things, particularly the cricket fields, and that's why we have him, because of his persistence. But thank you very much. I will happily use these tickets to see Samantha Joy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor, for your kind words, and now let's eat. Dinner served.